Hello everyone, I am Sadia Akhtar Sultana from Bangladesh. I am a professor at Open School in Bangladesh Open University. I graduated from physics. I did my doctoral degree in nuclear engineering, and so I am a STEM woman. I really take great pride in it. Let me tell you why. I feel science is the driver of modernity. If you look all around, you can see our era is marked by unbelievable advancements in science and technology. As a STEM woman, I'm part of it. Frankly speaking, I feel I can understand things better than that of the non-STEMers too. I can contribute too. I think I am on the right track. I feel not only this era of science and technology, but the future world is also for me. Here, I would like to say a few words to bring together women, STEM, and Sustainable Development Goal 5 on a single panorama and draw a correlation between them. You know, about one half of the world's population is made up of women. So, participation of women is inevitable at every sphere. Otherwise, we'll be able to utilize only half of the human potential. There will be a persistent background pulling force, and the achievements of our desired development goals will always remain a far cry. STEM, the acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, is going to highlight upon the importance of education on these disciplines. Without having even the basic of STEM knowledge, it is almost impossible for someone to cope up with the modern society, not to mention about any kinds of progression or developments. For example, knowledge and skill of operating a cell phone or a computer is no more the affair of the people of the affluent society, rather, it is required by the commoners too. It has become a part of life skills activity and a very basic prerequisite for even a humble job. The United Nations has rightly identified these issues and emphasized on gender equality and women empowerment. If developments are to be sustained, the women are to be taken along. They are to be empowered through imparting the right type of education. STEM thus find both its relevance and importance. Having said so, I would like to assert that the impact of STEM education for women could be enormous. It has a wide array of influence from macro level to micro level towards the advancement of society in the fields of science and technology. While we see astronauts in international space stations busy in scientific expedition, we also see mothers rearing their children, educating them the basic of STEM, and preparing them as worthy citizens of humankind. But unfortunately, we do not see the same picture all around the world. We are still stuck up by the social stigma of gender bias, a common prevailing perception that makes many of us to think like he is a scientist, she is a nurse. We got to do away with such idea. We cannot stereotype women and marginalize them in a row. We got to empower them and take them along the mainstream of the society's development agenda. Now, I would like to highlight upon the prospects of spreading STEM education through MOOC. You know, today in the educational arena, the most discussed topic is online learning. It's offered by many organizations other than the traditional educational providers. The emergence of massive open online courses taken up by many in the last 1 year has shown that online learning is a great opportunity for lifelong learning as well as for sustainable development. MOOC is a relatively new concept of imparting free online small educational packages at large scale. Such courses on STEM can greatly impact the society in general and the women folk in particular due to its special features. Under the circumstances where women in many parts of the world grossly lagging behind in STEM knowledge and skill, they can be brought under the lights of modernity and be empowered for making worthwhile contribution towards the development of the society by imparting MOOCs on STEM. A boost on their STEM knowledge and skill will not only impact upon at micro level developments in the society, but also will leverage towards macro level contribution by encouraging them to acquire higher education in relevant fields of knowledge. Now, I like to emphasize on some scenario of the women of my country where we would see the girls' thirst for coping up with the era of science and technology. As the COVID-19 pandemic continued to raise, my country also had a great push for online learning. Educational communities were bound to pursue education in distance mode through online and in synchronous way, just a pedagogical replacement of face-to-face classroom. Since they were not well prepared, the courses and the delivery system have also not been well planned as needed for online learning. Thus, they have not been exactly like distant education courses or MOOC, but it is noticeable that the responses from the learners has been remarkable despite the existence of digital divide in developing country like Bangladesh. I experienced this last year while conducting a workshop as a resource person for app development for the girls, an app that is used for advertisement and marketing of products of small entrepreneurs. It was a week-long face-to-face workshop organized jointly by Commonwealth of Learning and the local organization named the Center for Mass Education in Science. After being affected by COVID-19, we had to shift the media of conduct of the workshop from face-to-face to online. But it was amazing that 93% girls were confident in developing app after attending the workshop, although these were their very first experience of attending an online workshop and developing app. A total of 74 participants from different rural areas of Bangladesh attended through virtual platform Zoom. It was for the participants' strong will that we were successful in the workshop. It was also the constant support of their parents and community that allowed them to remain focused, and the eagerness to pursue their workshop remained high because it offered them the skill development what they needed. So the outcome became successful due to the efforts of participants and community, a joint endeavor from the level of society. Without it gave us a good insight for conducting STEM MOOCs in future. I would like to stop here echoing Lashmi Puri, Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations and Deputy Executive Director of United Nations Women. She said, "We must ensure that women's participation in innovation is not the exception, but becomes the norm." Thank you all.